Hello and welcome to the DTC High School Football Preview Cannon County Edition. I'm the coach, Chris Vance, joined today by Matt Daniel. Coach Daniel, 2019 was not good. 2020 was not good. What happened in 21?
Well, 21, we make it to the second round of the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Our first ever home playoff win. Very, very exciting. We celebrated that tremendously last year. You know, we mentioned 19 and 20. We were so close to making it into the playoffs. Right behind us, we were 1 yard away against York. It felt like we were just right there. And I kept talking to the seniors who graduated last year. Hey, we're 1 yard away. We're 1 yard away. We're one play away. And last year, we earned that spot to the second round. What a great season it was, 21.
So what were some things that happened that enabled that to get over that hump, that hurdle?
Well, our players were bought in. We just we had to play for 4 quarters. And it seems like we didn't do that in 19 and 20 very well. You know, we moved the ball against Upperman, very good program, and then we fumbled the ball like 7 times in that game. And I look back on those and go, man, if we just stop making the mistakes. And if you look back at 21, the mistakes, not as many mistakes. And that helped us get over the curb, if you will, into where we wanted to be at.
Talk about the coaching staff that you have this year.
All right, so a little bit of turnover. Coach Graves went back to Coffee County, but I'm happy with what we've got coming back. Coach Lance comes back to us from the middle school program. He's done an outstanding job this summer. Of course, I've got my people that were here with me when I started. Coach Robinson, John Robinson, a former Vanderbilt player, captain on the Vanderbilt team. He's a legacy guy. He's huge around here. He does so much for us. Coach Atwood, he was an original guy. He's going to be running the defense again this year. John Hargis returns to us. He's spent some time as the head coach at St. Andrews, and he's back with us. Coach Jim Parker's back with us. Coach Chris Robinson, his son Alan has joined our staff. Jeff Bain returns with us. You know, so we're really happy with our coaching staff. Coach File, who's done an outstanding job with Jack Byford, all-region kicker of the year. I think that speaks for itself right there, and love having him on our staff. He's kind of limited, but he keeps stats on the sideline. He wears a lot of hats, as most people do in our school district. So,
you talk about a turnover on the coaching staff, and on your team last year, I think you lost 6 offensive starters and 5 defensive starters. Defensively, let's start there and talk about some of those key players that are coming back, plus some names that are probably new to this defensive unit.
So losing Dylan Taylor and Dallas Roller at our corners, outside linebacker, that's tough. Those are all region players, not easily replaced. That's something at Cannon that we've struggled with since I've been here, is enough depth at that level to go on and continue and make a second round appearance. But the up-and-comers, we've got Matt Harris, who's a rising junior this year. We look for big things for him. Nick Foster has stepped up there. Ryan Perkins, who you know is our running back from last year, has transitioned into be a really good corner. We've also got some new faces, some people that we're going to try there on down the road. Hayden Rogers has come along in defense. He was a new face this year on our team. And some guys that we've really hung our hat on the last couple of years even, like Josh Mingle. We can run behind him. Talon Paxson, solid offensive line. We replaced our center with Cole Higgins. You know, he's doing a great job for us at center. And left tackle Louise, who came in the web game and did an outstanding job, has earned that position for the rest of the year last year, and is doing a great job. He's a rising junior as well. I guess you asked me to stay on defense, and I went to offense a little bit, but for us, those players often play both ways, and we try to rest that. But with 42 players on the roster right now, I think with depth, we're doing better than we have in a long time.
Offensively, you lose your quarterback, pretty key position in the wing tee. Talk about that competition for that starting role this time.
So losing Harrison Carr, he was a great quarterback for us. He did some good things, could throw the ball well. We threw touchdown passes in both of our playoff games. So with him gone and being a senior for 1 year, that's difficult. You know, if we look back through our track record, it seems like we've had 1 year quarterbacks, and that's all we got out of them because they were rising seniors. This year, Colby Miller is probably our slated #1 quarterback. He's done a great job. Behind him, Matt Bain and Eli Garrett, a freshman. Matt will be a sophomore, and Colby is also a sophomore. So those guys have been putting in a tremendous amount of work. Colby is a guy that is very football IQ smart, and we can do a lot of things with him that usually you have to wait till as a junior or a senior to do. He's already doing some of those things. So look for Colby to make some strides this year at quarterback.
This unit and this coaching staff, success built on last year. Have the players seemed to buy in more this year? Are they ahead of where they were last year?
You know, I think that our expectations, we talked about this in the coaching staff meeting the other day when we went into Jackson County for a scrimmage. You know, our first play we busted for 8 or 9 yards. Our first year, we'd have been so happy with that. This year, our expectation is, Coach, that's what we're expecting to do. So our excitement level was up, but it wasn't like it was that first year when, oh man, we made a first down. This year we're expecting, hey, we've got to do that if we want to compete with the teams in our region. If we happen to make that playoff run again this year, which our expectations are there, we want to do that. We know what we have to do now in order to be competitive.
Looking at this schedule like you just referred to, what is it that Cannon County is going to have to do to be effective and get a lot of wins in that column?
Well, we open up with a really stout Monterey team. You know, they get their quarterback and that running back for them, and our next week's Cascade. So it's not any rollover teams that we're going to play out the gate. And then our first region game is probably one of the best opponents in our region, Sequatchie County at Sequatchie. So what I tell my guys to do is take it one game at a time. We're prepping for the next game that comes up. First game of the season, that's Monterey. Then it'll be the next opponent. Then it'll be the next opponent. I think if you get to look too far down the field of your opponents, you get lost in that. And that's something that we did a really good job of last year. You know, we started off 0-2 and didn't play the Sequatchie game. And then we go into Webb not knowing what kind of team we had. And we opened it up at Webb, and then the rest is history. We go on to be the second team in the region.
Cannon County is one of my favorite places to come pre-game when we were broadcasting pre-COVID. Talk about the atmosphere and kind of what goes on before the game and out in the parking lot and just how welcoming the fans are.
You know, our fan base, there's a picture in my office of the win against Signal Mountain in the first round, and it's a picture of just our fans out here on this field. And that is the epitome of what we tried to build here. That is what we wanted, our fans rushing on the field, being excited for us. But yeah, you're right, the tailgating that's going on up in the parking lot, all the way to they call it the Pride Walk down through here. And that's just awesome, I love that. And that was something that was already started when I got here, but we've really tried to amp that up and make that a big deal. We come down through here to the gate. It's a neat experience, especially when we have a really good crowd and they're into it. And it's just great for our fans, and our players absolutely love it.
What is it that you hope that those fans see out of Cannon County this year?
Well, we want to be competitive in every game. You know, we want to go in the game with enough in our toolbox on offense to make it competitive and move the ball down the field. On defense, we want to make them stretch it out, not to give up the big plays. And we play several teams that's what they thrive on. They're looking for us to get into a different defensive set and maybe take a shot at the big play. Just can't give up those big plays. And offensively, we got to stay on the field, at least get first downs. Obviously, we want points, but for us, we want to control the football, march down the field, and take some time off that clock.
Well, Coach, DTC has three of y'all's games, and they're right here. I can't wait to see them and call those games. We look forward to seeing, and hopefully another successful season.
Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us.